Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Trisha. So let's get started with this coneflower, also called Ignacia flower. For the front view with this flower, let's draw a line slightly tilted to one side and then draw an oval shape on top of this line. Then right in the middle of that oval shape, I draw two lines bending slightly to each side of this oval shape. This is going to be the shape of the petals. To measure the size of the petals for this coneflower, I consider the size of that oval shape and leave a space of 1.5 of that oval shape. No need to be precise here. I just eyeball the distance. Then I connect the two side lines, and now we have here the very basic form of a coneflower. Now I erase the line in the middle and I start drawing the petals of our coneflower. Don't worry about perfection here. Flowers are beauties of Mother Nature, and nature is very organic. We don't want to have these petals shaped extremely perfectly because they are going to look too stiff, and nature is never stiff. If you love drawing coneflowers, I also have another video with a coneflower being drawn in a very beginner friendly way, even simpler than this way I am drawing here. There are many ways to draw just about anything. So I thought I would do a video with a different approach to draw coneflowers or echinacea flowers. So as you can see here, I draw the last petals of this coneflower slightly shorter to give the impression that they are further away from the viewer. Then I trace the pencil lines with my fineliner. I am using a 005 Pigma micron pen here because I personally prefer my lines to be very thin, but a 01 would do well too. Then I start working on the head of this coneflower by drawing these little pointy shapes, lots of them. This might seem like a daunting task, but since this is just a small area, this part of the drawing goes by very quickly. These pointy shapes start getting a bit smaller in size as we approach the very top of the flower. Now with a 01 pen, I start covering the spaces behind the pointy shapes. I am not going to precisely cover everything. At some point, I just start making a zigzag motion with my pen. The goal is just to leave a few areas blank to give the look of this part of the coneflower. After that, I cover the gaps between the petals. Then I erase all the pencil lines left and I start my shading. I am back using a 005 here. And that is a simple drawing of a coneflower or echinacea flower in a front view. So now let's draw another coneflower from a different perspective. This next coneflower will be viewed slightly from above. For that, I draw an almost straight line and then I draw an oval shape at the top. Now I draw a circle around the oval shape. And then I start drawing lines slightly curved to one side or another, connecting the lines from the small oval shape to the larger circle around. These lines will be my guide to draw the petals for this coneflower. As you can see, the petals in the back are much smaller because we are seeing this coneflower from above, but it's not a direct view from the top. So we get to see very well the petals in the front and a little bit of the petals from the other side. I think this view is more dynamic and interesting than if we were looking at the coneflower from a direct top view. For this coneflower, I'm using a 01 pen to trace the petals. Then I start to draw the pointy shapes again for the head of the flower. By the way, I am calling this part of the coneflower head, but this is not the scientific name. This is just how I'm choosing to call it to make it easier. This part of the process is the same as our first coneflower. Okay, so now we have a coneflower or echinacea flower drawing viewed from the top. Our next flower is going to be the cosmos flower. This one is going to be a simple straight view. I start by drawing a small circle followed by a larger circle. Remember, there is no need to draw these circles perfectly. You could use a circular ruler if you want to, but it is not necessary. In fact, if the circles are not perfect, they will give you the look of a more organic shape. And since we are drawing nature, organic is the look we're aiming to. Now I draw four lines in the shape of an X. And then I draw four more mini lines between the lines of the X. Okay, so now let's start drawing the petals of this cosmos flower. Let them be very loose and even slightly crooked. Try to follow your guidelines, but don't follow them exactly. That will give you the organic look we want. This cosmos flower, it's going to have 8 petals, which seems to be the most common, but the number of petals in a cosmos flower depends on the species and the variety. As you can see, some petals of this cosmos flower are more separated than others. I did this, as I mentioned before, to add that organic and natural look. You could make them very symmetrical if you want to. I just thought that since we are going to draw this cosmos flower in only one simple perspective, I will add some dynamic in this drawing by making it just a little imperfect. The central part of the cosmos flower is full of little tubular florets. I am not going to draw them in detail here because if we are looking at this flower from this distance, it would be impossible for our eyes to see the details of these tubular florets. So I am just going to represent them in little scribbles and circles. After that, I start working on the petals again. I am shading this cosmos flower with a 01 pen to speed up the process a bit. And here we have our finished cosmos flower. The next flower is a very simple rock rose flower with 5 petals. Fairly easy to draw. Just draw a small circle followed by a larger circle around it. Then draw 5 lines and then connect each of these lines together to form the petals. No need to make them super symmetric and no need to follow the lines exactly. Again, let this rock rose flower be as organic as possible. And then start shading. Since this rock rose flower is so simple, let's make it more interesting by drawing a couple of buds. These are also very simple shapes, and as I keep saying, Try not to be too perfect with them and give them a very natural, loose look. The next flower is a very simple lily of the valley flower. Start by drawing two curvy lines, then draw a few U shapes upside down. Make the ends of your upside down U shapes slightly curvy, and then start adding more curvy lines and connect them. I recently made a video on how to draw the lily of the valley flower, and in that video I used a different approach to draw this flower. As I mentioned in the beginning, there are many ways to draw anything. So if this approach is not the best for you, you can try another way. I will leave a link of that video in the description if you want to take a look at it. So now that we practiced these four flowers, let's put it all together in the floral composition. I already pre-sketched these flowers in my sketchbook. I highly recommend trying a full drawing like this one with all the elements we just practiced because of the repetition. I think that drawing the same flowers over and over again will help you gain confidence and eventually even memorize how to draw the flower. And that is the same for anything we are trying to learn how to draw. In this composition, I am overlapping some of these flowers and I'm adding some leaves, a few mushrooms, and even a simple butterfly. I am not concerned at this point to draw these botanicals in the correct size and scale they should be. I'm just having fun placing them all together. Well, I hope this video is useful for you and I hope it adds value to you on your drawing journey. If you like this video, please hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know which of these flowers you like the most. Thank you so much for drawing with me today and for watching me create this botanical composition. I really appreciate you staying with me through this creation. And just so you know, I have many other drawing, painting, and coloring videos on my channel. So if you would like to see more art tutorials like this one, then maybe consider watching the next video coming up. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.